everyone. In this video, I am going to explain the summary analysis of modular learning feedbacks from students, parents, and teachers. By the way, I am Miss Eden Joy G. Sabarat, a 4th year B.Ed Generalist student from STC3 Cluster B. We will know the responses of each type of respondents about how or what they feel about the questions. The first respondents are the students. Since the students are the first person who will adapt the new normal setting. Here are the list of interview questions. The first one: are you overall satisfied with the learnings you have gained in this entire time of modular learning? The second one: do you have someone to help you to answer your modules? What challenges have you encountered in modular distance learning? How effective was the modular learning for you and why? These questions are literally related to the situation we have right now, where the respondents of the students will determine their satisfaction, support, and difficult. These questions are literally related to the situation we have right now, where the response of the students will determine their satisfaction, support, difficulties, and effectivity of modular learning style. We will go to the first one, which asks about the satisfaction of the learners about what they have learned in this entire time of modular learning. And the indicators are the very satisfied, satisfied, and unsatisfied, which indicated to different types of colors. As what we can see in the graph, 20% of the response are very satisfied, and the rest of the graph, which is 80%, belongs to the unsatisfied responses of the students. The next question is, does someone help the students to answer their module? The choices are only two, which are yes or no. In the graph, we see that 40% answered yes and 60% answered no. Therefore, majority of the respondents does not have someone to help them answer with their modules. The next question are the challenges that they have encountered in modular distance learning. First challenges is the poor internet connection, which is very common nowadays because internet connection is really hard to settle. The next one is you need to put so much effort in studying, self-studying, the internet connection, and the poor internet connection. So, majority of the responses, the challenges that they have encountered is the poor internet connection and to self-study. The next question is, how effective has the modular learning been for you and why? So here are the 5 responses. So the first one is none, and then not effective because it is very pressured in catching up on the lessons, especially the subject of mathematics and science. Not effective because lack of sleep due to answering the modules. It gave me relaxed pace to handle effectively. And then last response, honestly, modular learning is quite not effective for me since independent learning is not my learning style. As what we have noticed in the responses of the students, majority of their response is the modular learning is not effective. In conclusion, this modular type of learning is not generally effective type of learning, Since not all students in public schools can provide gadgets and internet connection to be able to attend different types of online classes. But it is more applicable in our times like this because we are in pandemic situation wherein we need to adapt to different innovations and inventions that we have right now. So, modular type of learning is a needed move in times of this current devastation. The efficacy of learning with modular type of learning is not a flat-out perfect type of education, but it is more suitable type of education. The possibility in improving the quality of modular learning that are currently implemented in public school by relegating the little chunks of activities successively. We have observed that some public schools have bombarded their students with thick bind activities that pupils didn't have a prior knowledge about it. Therefore, we would like to endorse more about blended type of learning wherein the teachers have to introduce topics before they give out activities. It is more effective to practice petition in education. Based on the analysis of the gathered data, independent learning or home study is not suitable for all students since we have different kinds of learning styles. And then, most of the students have experienced huge obstacles that they have been through, which mentioned a while ago, those are poor internet connection, lack of sleep, and self-studying. It is also mentioned that the students need to put much effort in studying because there is no discussion provided. It only depends on what's in the modules, and the things written in the modules are not helpful because they don't really read what's the content in the modules. As long as they can answer, that's enough for them. Most of the students experience huge obstacles that they have been through, which have mentioned earlier. Those are poor internet connection, lack of sleep, and self-studying. Of course, in order for you to learn, you need to put so much effort because there is no discussion provided in the module. In that case, the students don't really read what's the content in the modules. As long as they can answer, that's enough for them. That is why most of the students are much pressured in catching up the lessons, and there is a time that they experience lack of sleep due to answering the modules. The next feedback that we will have is from the persons that must support our students. The parents' feedback. This time, we will know the hardships and insights of some parents, and that leads to our question for them. The modular learning is effective, or how effective is the modular learning? Which is better, face-to-face classes or modular learning? The third one, what challenges have you encountered in modular distance learning? How do you feel about the overall modular type of education? And then the last one, what are your suggestions to improve the quality of education through modular type of learning? We will go to the first one is the effectivity of the modular learning. The indicators are strongly agree, neither agree or nor disagree, strongly disagree. So this was presented in different colors, but as what we have seen in the graph, there are only two colors. Therefore, most of the responses are agree or neither agree nor disagree. 40% of the response is neither agree nor disagree, and then the 60% is agree. Therefore, the majority of the response comes up to the answered that the modular learning is effective. So they agree. Most of the respondents agreed that the modular learning is effective. The second question is, which is better, face-to-face classes or modular learning? So, there are only two choices that they need to choose. The first one is the blue color, which is the face-to-face classes, and the red one is modular learning. So, 100% of the respondents, or all of the respondents, respond to a face-to-face classes. They say that face-to-face classes is better than modular learning. The second one are the challenges that our parents encountered in modular distance learning. The first challenges that they have encountered is the responsibility of receiving and returning of the modules. The second one is adapting to the new normal learning. The third one is the monitoring of their children's modules. And then the fourth one is they encountered that they will be the one to take over or to answer the modules to avoid delay. And then the last one of the challenges that our parents have encountered is the emotion status of their children. The next question is what they feel about this modular type of education. The indicators are very satisfied, neither satisfied or dissatisfied, and then dissatisfied and very dissatisfied. And it was indicated to different types of colors. As what we can see in the graph, there are only three colors that we seen, which is the orange one, neither satisfied or dissatisfied, and then the red one, satisfied, and dissatisfied, which is the green one. So 20%, both 20% from neither satisfied or dissatisfied. So majority of the parents, although not all of them, are satisfied with the modular type of education. The next question is about the suggestions to improve the quality of education through modular type of learning. So the parents ask about their suggestions. The first suggestion that they gave is that to improve the modular learning is the efficacy of communication. And then the next one, long period time in answering the modules. The third is the availability of the materials with clear instruction and simple exercises. And then the fourth one is the parents' active participation and community support must be strengthened, and then lengthened time for the deadline. So these are just the suggestions of parents to improve the quality of education through modular type of learning. The research findings of the feedback of the parents about modular learning is quite hard since it is something new to them. Also, they are worried about their child's welfare due to the restricted environment because their children cannot go outside to meet their friends. And then handling the receiving and returning of the module is quite hassle for the working parents. And then taking care of the household and their child's education is somehow difficult for them, especially for those parents having two or more children. And then, the parents need to monitor their child because some students lose their interest in modules most of the time. Despite of all the feedbacks that they have given, the research showed that they still have a positive outlook on modular learning since it serves as a way to continue their child's education even in this time of pandemic. Thus, 60% of the respondents agree that the modular learning is effective and also stated that they are satisfied with the modular type of education. However, 100% still think that face-to-face classes are better than modular learning. Also, the recommendation or suggestions of the parents have also mentioned. It is said that having a clear instruction and communication will hold a vital role in improving the quality of education while using this modular type of learning. And then, the active participation of parents and the community helps child's developmental needs. The last feedback that we will know is from those frontliners, which given the possibility of implementing modular type of learning. The teachers. Here are the interview questions that we have asked to the teachers. What are the possible ways to improve modular type of learning in terms of content and understandability? What are your suggestions to improve the quality of education through modular type of learning? Which is more effective when it comes to learning? And then explain why. What challenges did you encounter in modular learning? How easy or difficult modular learning is? Compared to the previous years, how much harder or easier to form the relationship with your students? How satisfied are you with the current learning or academic growth of the students using modular learning model? This is their feedback on the first question. The choices are it needs proofreading, feedbacks from parents, feedbacks from students, and not at all. As what we have noticed, all of the respondents agreed to these ways to improve modular type of learning in terms of content and understandability. So they answered that it needs proofreading, feedbacks from parents, and feedbacks from students. And then these are their suggestions to improve the quality of education through modular type of learning. All of them answered that there should be more learning materials provided by the government, and all of them answered the pre-test and post-test assessment for the learner. But 80% of the respondents said that additional seminar or virtual training for the teachers to enhance the skills and knowledge. And then the third question is, which is more effective when it comes to learning, face-to-face or modular? There are three choices, the face-to-face, modular, or both face-to-face and modular. Out of 100%, 40% of the respondents said that that both face-to-face and modular is effective. And then majority, 60% of the respondents said that face-to-face classes is more effective when it comes to learning. The next question is, in relation to the question number 3, why is that face-to-face or both face-to-face and modular classes are effective when it comes to learning? Here are their responses. The first response is in favor to face-to-face classes because modular type of learning will give teachers hardships to deliver properly the topics wherein their student can comprehend very well. The second response is also in favor to face-to-face classes because they have said that face-to-face classes is most relevant in molding the young minds of our children because it has a big impact to the learners to understand the lesson. Third one is in favor with the modular type of learning because they say that positive effect of modular distance learning is that they can reduce the dropout and allow students to hone their time management skills. And then the fourth one is in favor of also in modular approach because modular type of learning will help teachers successful in increasing students' understanding and critical thinking skills. And then the fourth one is in favor of face-to-face classes because it is more fun to learn more knowledge, ideas, opinions, and skills from the teacher to the learner. It is really important to the interaction and communication between the teacher and the learners. The fifth one asks about the challenges that the teacher encountered in modular learning. So here are the types of challenges: the printing of modules, releasing and retrieval of modules, parents-teacher communication, student-teacher relation, busy schedule, and or time constraint. All of the respondents agreed that printing of modules is one of the challenges that they encounter, and also releasing and retrieval of modules. 80% of the respondents said that parents-teacher communication is the challenges that they have encountered, and then 100% of the feedbacks of the teachers said that the student-teacher relation is part of the challenges, and 60% out of 100% is about the busy schedule or time constraint. The next question is how easy or difficult modular learning is. 40% of the respondents said that modular learning is easy, and 60% of the respondents said that modular learning is difficult. The next question is compared to the previous years, how much harder or easier to form relationship with your students? All of the respondents said that it is harder to build a relationship with the students since they can't meet each other. The last question is how satisfied are you with the current learning or academic growth of the student using modular learning model? 20% of the respondents said that they are satisfied with the current learning or academic growth of their students, and 80% of the respondents said that they are not satisfied or they are dissatisfied with the growth of their students using this modular learning model. The research findings shows that this modular learning is challenging for teachers because there is a lot of factors to consider like distribution or retrieval of modules, which takes a lot of time for the teachers, as well as the printing and sorting of the modules. There is less student-teacher relation since they don't meet, and the teacher also worry about the students' academic growth. Since the pandemic is still ongoing, the academic growth of the student will be stunted. As a result, some students are having difficulty in studying on their own since there is no discussion made, and sometimes they just rely too much to their parents in terms of answering their modules. The teachers think that it would be better if the modules are prepared not in a hurry, and they think that the more trainings or seminar is needed. In general, teachers still think that they are taking too many responsibilities at once and held responsible more than they should be. Anyway, the data showed that they have a positive outlook on modular learning. However, most teachers think that face-to-face is better than modular learning. And that ends the summary analysis of the feedback from students, parents, and teachers about modular learning. I hope you have learned something and understand my discussion, and thank you for watching.